So we just talked about your kind of bigger industrialized car wash. Probably the next step up from that would be your run-of-the-mill, your old gas station at the corner, kind of wash slash detail shop. Pretty much the main difference you're going to get between them and a car wash is they're usually going to use a pressure washer if they can afford one. If not, probably a water hose. But at least the water's not recycled. It'll be fresh. They're going to hand wash your vehicle, so you are already kind of avoiding some of the damages you can run into at your big industrialized car wash. Typically, they're not going to be super skilled with a lot of things. They'll do a hand wax for you, which is a heck of a lot better than the buff wax. But they will do a lot of times they will do a buff wax. They'll do a little bit of polishing or something like that on a vehicle. Typically, they're not going to know anything about a clay bar or too much at all about anything like that. And so while they don't cause damage initially with the washing part as much, other than they will probably be more than willing to use the wrong kind of soap, harsh degreasers and abrasives. Typically, they'll start washing it, doing engines for you. They typically don't really have an idea about how to do that safely, so you might end up with a check engine light on over the ordeal. They're going to use, typically, from what I've seen, they will use wheel acids and some really strong degreasers and stuff like that. Strong soaps. They want to get it clean and then they want to get it shined, and so they kind of want to get it in and out. They'll vacuum it really well. Typically, they're not going to be sophisticated enough to have hot water carpet extractors or steam extractors, things like that. They're probably not going to have good, high-quality buffing machines or whatever. Now, sometimes they will, and sadly, they just really don't know a lot about how to use them. These are the shops that cause a ton of holograms and swirl marks, typically, because they're more prone to use a machine similar to the car wash, but they just don't understand the steps you need to go through to properly correct paint. And also, they'll use a compound to come back and just wax right over the compound, which you see a lot of. That causes your holograms and later swirl marks. So that's a lot of what you run into. Typically, they're going to get your car cleaner than a car wash. They're going to do a more thorough job vacuuming the vehicle. They may shampoo your carpets a little bit or something like that. What shampooing means, spraying some sort of soap on your carpet and scrubbing it, then wiping it off with a towel and running the vacuum over it. Just so everybody thinks shampooing sounds like this big machine process. It's not. It's you can do it yourself. Take your favorite household cleaner, spray on your carpet, scrub with a brush, wipe off with a rag, and ta-da! You shampooed your carpet. So they'll typically do some stuff like that. They won't dress over dirt like your car washes will. They'll usually get that removed. You'll still probably, if you're more of a meticulous person or really care about your car or something like that, you'll tend to find spots that they missed, stuff like that. Maybe they didn't check thoroughly enough under a truck mat, or somewhere under a seat, or in your nooks and crannies. They might not get your air conditioning vents quite all that clean, stuff like that, as much as you'd like. And they'll wax it, but like I said, over time you'll notice swirl marks and other things like that. Your paint will still kind of deteriorate over time. And that's kind of what you get with your hand wash slash detailer type.